Well, well. What can I say? This is my first stream. Probably gonna be talking to a whole lot of nobody right now, and I'm basically just doing this in order to kind of just put myself back on the map. To the homies, what's up? I'm back. I know I disappeared for a good while. And I probably will again eventually. But it's time. It's time to step back into Mitch Wayne's world, have a little fun, make some cool stuff, and do our thing. You know, long story short, I disappeared from making videos for like 2 years. And now here I am. We're streaming. This is actually my first stream ever, surprisingly. I've been on other people's streams and stuff and helped them with that, but now it's time for Mitch Wayne's world, you know? It's been a wild ride, but let's get it started. I think kind of what I want to do here, at least starting off, is just I want to watch some videos. I want to scroll around the internet. I want to just talk about where we are as a culture, where we are in life. Where we are, who we are, what we are, how we are. How are you? I'm okay. I don't have a lot of time to stream this morning, probably only like 30 minutes because I got to go to class. That's how I am. I'm finishing my last semester of college, boys and girls. Go to school. It's good for you. It's super fucking useless, but it's good for you. It's real good for you. Oh yeah, I want to start off. Here, let's change this up a little. I saw this. Brittany Renner and Charleston White, and I mean, with those two names, come on, my boy.
Thing for wet is just another. It ain't what we shooting for. You know what I mean?
Isn't that?
Miss Ma'am.
No.
No,
come on, please. Come on, man, please.
No.
Come on,
I
man,
need you
please.
to. I need you to be
The
kind
fuck?
and respectful to my guests.
Yo, can I even put this on kick? Oh my
Where
god.
that pig poker at, man? Go ahead and get the pig poker out.
No. Alright, well, that's game. I'm gonna go to YouTube because you know we do the things that we do, and then we expect different outcomes. And all I gotta say is I'm praying for that young lady, even though she's a fair bit older than me. So I've got some videos that I want to watch here. Get a little reaction content. You feel me, fam? First video that I want to watch, I kind of just, whenever I see a video that might be fun to watch on stream, I just save it to this little playlist right here. And yeah, we've got a lot of different random ones. I have a lot from this YouTube channel called Horses. They have great thumbnails, and I've only watched like one of their videos in full, but I think it's just one dude. I'm not entirely sure because I haven't watched that many of the videos, but he has a lot of cool topics that I think would be good for the stream. And you know, this is what we're doing here. We're talking about culture at large. We're talking about how technology's impacting our culture. We're talking about finessing. We're talking about finessing on a grand scale. We're talking about focusing on a grand scale. But you know, we're in a crazy time. You know, we're about to be coming towards the 2024 elections. Like I don't know about you, but I know about me, and shit's crazy. And the crazy part about things is that everyone's kind of just been asleep at the wheel for the most part. And then, of course, you have your people who are already not mentally okay on a daily basis. Those are kind of the only people that have been like super focusing on politics, and that was the whole point of Joe Biden, but we have a former U.S. president possibly going to prison, getting indicted for all this stuff, and whether or not, like, however you feel about it, that's fucking crazy. And we're not going to get conspiratorial on the first stream, but there's still a war going on in Europe. There's still wars going on all over the world. I don't like that we focus in so much on, you know what? I'm going to save it. I'm going to save it for another stream. So let's see. What do we want to start off with here? Let's go down here. Should we watch We All Got Tricked into Content Addiction, or should we watch Productivity Rips You Apart? Let's go. Whatever.
Stuff, but definitely not.
Let's start it from the jump. Bro, see, like,
Why?
hold on. This page, so simple. Simplicity is everything. And I feel like as we've gotten into, as society as a whole becomes more complex, we have gotten our taste for things has become more simplified. And there's this whole, I don't even remember what it's called, but there's this whole theory in like design school and stuff like that talks about it. I guess I could just look it up instead of just talking about it. One second. What is the theory that... I know who to ask. My good old friend, Chat Jerry Pringleton. Over here you might see some schoolwork. Don't tell anybody though. Let's see here. What is the design theory that as the world has become more complex, our case for minimalism and simple designs has grown or has increased? Complexity theory or complexity aesthetics. The theory suggests that our modern world becomes more complex and information heavy. There's a growing preference for minimalistic and simple designs. This could be attributed to the fact that streamlined and minimalist designs help people navigate and understand complex information more easily. In your role as a part-time data analyst and someone interested in culture and tech, I forgot that ChatGPT is remembering things now. That made me a little bit uncomfortable. I was like, excuse me, sir. In your role as a part-time data analyst and someone interested in culture and tech, this concept could be particularly relevant as you consider the design elements of your lifestyle brand and future educational endeavors. The idea of creating clear and intuitive interfaces to help people interact with the modern world aligns with the principles of complexity aesthetics. Well, that was a great answer. Dr. GPT, Dr. Jerry Pringleton Terryton III, point fifth. And yeah, I guess honestly it knew that I was streaming because that's what I'm trying to do right here. Creating clear and intuitive interfaces to help people interact with the modern world. I like that. Let's see what it says when I say this. I like that. Creating clear and intuitive interfaces to help people interact with the modern world. That's funny. Maybe I'm an AI or an AI. Maybe AI has just completely overtaken my life. I guess technically it's overtaken almost all of our lives in one way or another. I like that. Creating clear and intuitive interfaces to help people interact with the modern world. Expand on that. And give me some fun ideas on how to do that. And not just in a digital interface. No. I'll just broadly. Let's see what Chad Jerry Pringleton Terryton the third says. 3.5, excuse me. I hope the stream is properly set up. Because if not, that's a problem. I do have this terrible logo up in the top right. It's not that terrible. And that's fine because I don't feel like paying for something right now, honestly. Again, last semester of college. Life is hard right now. But it could be a lot harder. Still have a beautiful apartment and a beautiful life. Certainly, creating clear and intuitive interfaces to help people interact with the modern world is a key concept that can be applied in various ways across your lifestyle brand and educational initiatives. So obviously you could tell that I've talked to ChatGPT about cumulative and about Mitch Wayne's world. And it's remembering that, which I haven't used it in this sense in a while. Not in a while. It's okay. It's been yeah. So this is where things get really cool and interesting, but also weird, because I kind of just woke up this morning and I was like, you know what? I've been saying I'm going to stream and I'm going to do this for a minute. And just been having different ideas, and I want it to look like this. I want it to look like this, blah, blah, blah. But the best thing to do is to just go and to just make it happen. And, I'm kind of just running through a forest with a machete, just hacking away. And I trip and fall a lot. So, Chat Jerry Pringleton Terryton the 3.5 says, in response to me saying, I like that, creating a clear and intuitive interfaces to help people interact with the modern world. And then I said, expand on that, give me some fun ideas on how to do that broadly. And then Chat Jerry Pringleton Terryton the 3.5 said, certainly, creating clear and intuitive interfaces to help people interact with the modern world is a key concept that can be applied in various ways across your lifestyle brand and educational initiatives. Here are some fun ideas on how to incorporate this principle broadly. Interactive infographics and visual guides. As a data analyst and streamer, you can leverage skills to create interactive infographics and visual guides. Well, Chat Jerry Pringleton Terryton said the 3.5. I was already planning on doing that. I just didn't have it ready, but, especially as I start having more time finishing up school, I 100% plan on doing that. Tech explainer videos. Given your interest in both tech and culture, consider creating videos where you explain modern technological concepts or trends in a humorous and relatable way. Well, Chat Jerry Pringleton Terryton the 3.5, that's what I'm doing right now. Minimalist merchandise. When building your lifestyle brand, incorporate minimalistic and sleek designs into your merchandise. Simple logos, clean typography, and a limited color palette can make your... Chat Jerry Pringleton Terryton the 3.5, that's kind of what I've been doing for longer than I've been even making videos, So that's crazy. That's cool. I appreciate that, Chat Jerry Pringleton Terryton the 3.5. Let's go back to this. Educational gamification. Okay, this is getting a little weird. I don't necessarily. Yeah, I believe that's where I'm headed. Maybe I had a conversation with ChatGPT that I don't remember. Maybe I was baked or something. Storytelling through data. Yep. Digital workshops and webinars. Plan on it. Tech comedy fusion. Combine comedy and tech in your content. I am going to make you feel silly. That was terrible. Please cancel me already. Simplicity challenges. Encourage your audience to take part in simplicity challenges. These challenges could involve streaming their digital lives, decluttering their tech gadgets, or optimizing their online presence. Share tips and tricks to guide them through the process. I like that idea. That's actually a good idea that I didn't have already. But literally, the crazy part about this And maybe it just means that I'm not as original as I think I am, or that me and Chat, Jerry Pringleton, Terryton, the third point fifth have already had a few conversations about this. But 1 through 7, I pretty much already was like planning on different ways to do that. Now, obviously, my resources and time are limited with everything that's going on. So that's why I'm here doing this. And then I'm going to edit this into a video. And then I'm going to try to grow it and keep growing it. And I want to build a mass army, a digital army. No, I want to build a digital air force, not an army. And in this digital air force, we're going to wear cumulative shirts and dope pants. And everyone will be provided with a pair of Jordan 1s. Yeah. And from there, my digital Air Force and I are going to invade peacefully, but we will not be afraid of using force if necessary. But we will peacefully invade probably a neighboring suburb outside of a big city that we enjoy, and then we will take it over, and we will provide a safe haven for all of my complexity aesthetics followers. I completely forgot that this started with complexity aesthetics or complexity theory, which is, you know, a pretty dope concept. So I want to do a little bit more researching on complexity aesthetics, because complexity aesthetic theory. Did ChatGPT just lie to me? It'll do that. I don't want to read an academic paper. What is the complexity theory of art? The concept of complexity theory. Did I spell it wrong or something? Complexity. Okay. Well, I kind of feel like I just got lied to by ChatGPT, but it did a really good job, and that's an interesting thing when we talk about these kind of tools and stuff like that. You know, I like to think of myself as at least an averagely intelligent, and maybe perhaps, you know, depending on what kind of intelligence we're talking about, a little bit above average in certain things. In other things, I'm a complete imbecile. But ChatGPT, first of all, terrible at finance homework. Terrible. Second of all, I mean, I remember this theory from a design class that I've taken, and I always thought it was really interesting because, you know, like, no, Off-White. It was not a design class that I'd taken. It was a Virgil Abloh lecture that I listened to where he was talking about this very briefly, and I always thought it was interesting because, you know, like this right here, iPhone, is a prime example of an incredibly complex piece of technology. I mean, it changed the entire world. There is no this without that to start, and the actual design of it on an interface perspective is very straightforward and simple. So that's pretty cool. All right, I'm running out of time. I'm gonna watch one of these videos and then I'm gonna stop the stream. But don't you worry. Don't you worry. Nobody watching. We are gonna keep doing this because this is Mitch Wayne's world and it ain't stopping. All right. But yeah, this I just went. You know what? ADHD. No, hold on. Streaming is the number one superpower. Wow. ADHD is the number one superpower for streaming and making videos, but not editing and distributing them. And I think you see where my issue lies. So let's watch a video called "We All Got tricked into content addiction. I also want to do this like super meta thing where there's this guy, this handsome fellow, I think he's like Australian or something, reacts. So it's a physicist oh look. Fam. Mitch Wayne is streaming right now. Shit. It's crazy. Let's get pop in, fam. This guy, Dylan J. Dance.
Right,
this is
talking.
super meta. Oh,
Everyone
sorry.
quiet.
I'm talking. My bad, Dylan. I can't believe I'm not subscribed to him. He has great videos. I guess he... I don't know what his background is. It's not that important. But he studied physics somewhere or something. He's a really smart dude. And he reacts to a lot of really interesting, like, science-y videos and has an understanding of things and can talk about them that, like, this. I want to play Starfield. I'm going to be gaming too, don't you worry. That's in my blood. But I needed to do some other things first. But anyways, I like that guy. I'm going to watch some of his videos on stream. As a matter of fact, I'm going to add that handsome face. I do have to say, my brother, you looked better without the beard. And I think you would look good as a mustache kind of guy, you know. But look how this guy is a charming son of a gun without that beard. Look at him. Little Lex Friedman action. All right. We all got tricked into content addiction. Let's see here. By the way, when it comes to like reacting and reaction videos and commentary videos and stuff like that, I have little to no experience. Pretty much all of my content prior to this was, one, just me talking into the camera, not live, pre-recorded, just ranting about random things that were going on. And that's a lot of what this is going to be, obviously. 2, gaming videos, which those are super straightforward and fun to make. And there's not a lot of like copyright stuff that you need to worry about. Obviously, I've done my research. I know fair use, changing the content to where, you know, you make it original. So obviously the stress on the commentary. But if anyone is familiar with what cannot be streamed, let me know, because I would really prefer to not get copyright strikes, banned, all that stuff. And obviously, you know, I do want to make it a point that anytime I watch people's videos or use people's content to, you know, kind of create my own on top of it, because I do believe that can provide an extra layer of entertainment. You know, yeah, we'll just leave it at entertainment. But I do want to shout these people out. So again, this Horses guy makes a lot of really cool videos. I've been waiting to kind of watch them and do this. So I'm going to watch this and then I'm going to finish.
Why do we all need constant stimulation? All day, forever. We scroll through Twitter while we watch TV. We listen to podcasts while we work on our computers. There are even TikToks that are split screen videos, so you can watch a TikTok while you watch a TikTok. It's crazy. I wish I could say I was above this stuff, but I'm definitely not. I engage as much as anyone, probably more. So when I say we, I do mean we. So how did we get here? Why can't we experience a moment of silence without being overwhelmed?
I'm the worst about that. Like literally even now, even though I'm streaming, there's been so many times where my initial instinct was just to grab my phone and watch something random. Last night, literally, I had a paper to write, and literally while I'm writing this paper, I'm listening to music in my headphones. I have my headphones like this. I have a podcast playing on my phone. I have Twitter up on another thing, and I ended up watching like fight videos and videos of people arguing for like 30-40 minutes while I have music in my headphones, podcasts on here, and I'm watching people fight. Meanwhile, the thing that I'm supposed to do is write my paper, and I ended up getting to it, but you know, this is crazy.
by anxiety.
I love his aesthetics to his videos are beautiful, and it kind of goes into the whole complexity theory thing that we were just talking about.
Why do we always need to be watching or listening to something? What happened? The whole dopamine hit thing is the quickest explanation, and one that you may be thinking of right now. Before I started making this video, I assumed it to be true, but turns out, while still relevant, the idea of a quick dopamine fix is kind of a myth, and we'll get into that and a whole lot more. See, the truth has to do with a misunderstanding about dopamine, decreasing attention spans, and a huge failed promise.
Okay, well, I'm gonna be late. But this seems to be, I mean, you know, if you ask even myself, who looks into this kind of stuff often, and again, I don't know what this guy's credentials are, but I'm also a big fan of an independent researcher because, you know, me myself, a little bit of an independent researcher. But if you ask anyone what's going on, what's the problem with America's youth, or, you know, why can't people focus? These three things, not the misunderstanding, but dopamine, decreasing attention spans. I don't know what the failed promise is, but I could probably guess. Most people would probably tell you that.
If things are difficult now, where are we going with
Let's
all
speed this up a
Can
little.
new forms of stimulation just keep appearing forever to compete for our attention? There are a lot of pieces to put together, but that's exactly what we're going to do.
The dopamine myth. Wrong.
Common knowledge dictates that we want constant stimulation because we're seeking quick hits of dopamine. We're all addicted to this so-called pleasure chemical, and every time we find a funny video or an arousing image, we get our fix. Then we go back for more and more and more and more.
This video's giving me my fix, and it's making me...
It ties dopamine and self-improvement up in a nice little clickable package. Influencers and whoever can tell you that the key to improving happiness is by resetting your dopamine.
Dude, the dopamine reset, while it's a good idea in theory, and I definitely think that we have, like, if you vape or if you do Zen and if you use any kind of recreational drug on top of using your phone all day, on top of, you know, a bunch of different things, eat candy on top of eat most foods, like, you are just drowning in dopamine compared to, like, even like 2-3 generations ago. Dopamine was like such a reward. You know, shout out Andrew Huberman if you want to learn more about that. Just look up Andrew Huberman dopamine.
Simple. That's easy, but it's not totally true. Truth is more complicated. Dopamine is not released as a...
Truth is more complicated. I've definitely used that line with a couple women, for sure.
pleasure chemical. Dopamine is fired off before the pleasure is experienced as an anticipation chemical. The reward is not really relevant to dopamine release. Evolutionarily, this is intended to help with a try again mentality. If you're hunting and you miss your quarry, dopamine ensures that the attempt itself encourages you to try again. Scientifically, near misses actually produce even more dopamine than getting your desired result.
That's something I
Say
didn't really know.
you got $5 every time you
The
press
attempt,
the button.
not the
Anticipation
reward.
of each $5 reward would release dopamine. But then imagine if the button started giving you $100 for each press. You'd get even more dopamine for a little while before eventually declining back down to the $5 dopamine level, despite still getting $100 on each press. At that point, if the button switched back to $5 bills, your dopamine levels would decline even further to a place below that original $5 level.
That makes sense.
Dopamine was a pleasure chemical. You would get X amount of dopamine for the $5, then more for the $100, then right back down to X for the $5. But that's not what happens. The $5 button loses its ability to create dopamine as it becomes your new baseline. This shows that dopamine is not tied to the intrinsic value of the reward, but the difference between your reward and your default state. $5 is only nice, basically until you have $5.
True.
So think about taking a walk. A walk provides a reward compared to our baseline of...
Is this guy I wonder if he took this footage himself. I like when people do stuff like that. He didn't just download it from like some library online. I'm going to give it to you, horses. I hope that you did that, Dr. Horseman. Oh, we muted.
Nature alone in silence was great for a while. Then we were offered a podcast we could listen to while we took our walk. That's even better.
Bro, I'm sorry. I'm going to be late. Go on a walk without music or a podcast. Not all the time. Walking with music or a podcast can be super refreshing and enlightening. But go on a walk without it. Go to your favorite spot around where you live or wherever. Go for a long walk, like where you get bored. But that's why you go to your favorite place, because go to a place that inspires you. Go for a long walk, no music, no podcast. Get bored, unbearably bored. And you will have the greatest ideas ever come to you. And we are just drowning in stimulation all the time. So destimulating yourself makes you so much more creative.
So we did that until that got boring. But then we could scroll through TikTok while we listen to a podcast while we take a walk. That's amazing. But now taking a walk, maybe our $5 button, is shockingly boring. Unfortunately, this has no end. The human brain is not wired to find satisfaction. Because of our dopamine systems, as we consume more, we actually desire more. It's perhaps one of our most fatal flaws. So eventually we have to be constantly stimulated because we've had our $5 and then our $100 and then our $1,000. And now that $5, whether it's taking a walk, sitting in a park, cooking breakfast, or whatever, it's just not enough. So how do we fix it? Well, that's complicated.
Dude, he's aesthetically a
To fix
god.
the problem, we need a full picture of the diagnosis. And dopamine alone is helpful, but does not give us this full picture.
I wonder if that's just Times New Roman. I like simple fonts, simple.
Our attention spans are getting demonstrably shorter. Anecdotally, I think we could all probably agree with this. But there have been numerous studies that prove this phenomenon more scientifically. Indeed, our attention spans have gotten shorter as the amount of information in the world has grown. We only have so much real estate available in our minds, but now there are endless acres of information to consume. The problem is that instead of just ignoring some stuff, we are convinced by ourselves, our peers, or culture at large to just fit everything into our brains.
That is
We are told
one of
by
my
any
biggest
number
problems.
of these sources that we have to care about every single news item and current event. This is our modern obligation. This is FOMO, the fear of missing out. If we aren't up to date on everything, we are cruel or soulless.
If I didn't
or
have to go, I
ignorant,
would pause
or
it
all
again,
of the
but-
above. But at the same time, we still have our actual personal interests. There's endless information at our fingertips about things we genuinely do love. And why bother living if we can't pursue the things we enjoy? So we slowly decided to just make room for everything. In this amount of time, the real estate of our mind cannot and has not grown.
Dude, I love this
Instead,
guy's
it's just been
design.
divided into smaller and smaller pieces with every passing day. When we pair this concept with the idea that the more we consume, the hungrier we get, it becomes really easy to understand why we all need constant stimulation. But still, there remains one last piece of the puzzle. It was thought that technology would lighten our collective load. Robots, systems, computers, they were going to take some of the baggage off of our hands. But in reality, these things have taken our baggage only to replace it with, well, other baggage. Technology has relieved us from a physical workload, but replaced it with a spiritual exhaustion. It has taken physical distance and replaced that with a new kind of division. Armed with all of the information in the universe, we were supposed to be absolved of ignorance. Instead, there is ignorance like never before. We are
Jesus,
forced to
horses?
grapple with the effects of a
I watched this to
failed
feel
promise
better, not
brought on to
feel
us by
weird.
a technocratic government,
I'd
a
go on Twitter
capitalist
for that.
system, and indeed our own selves. I can't sit here on YouTube and seriously advocate for the downfall of modern technology, but I just wonder, when we get to a point where technology does more harm than good, how will we know? I don't have an answer to that question. Deep
I don't think we
societal
do, Jerry.
changes can happen slowly over time.
Usually too late when it is.
That's how we got here. We can recognize issues, vote based on these issues, and solve our problems together. But today, as an individual, right now, you cannot change the system you are facing. But you do have power. You have agency, because you can change how you function within that system.
Yes, baby. I love that. True. The path forward.
If you're looking for a solid, well-defined way to overcome these obstacles that I've spoken about,
tell me,
I'm
horses.
sorry. This video cannot provide that. In fact, I don't think any video can provide that. We're all so different. We have so many different brain chemistries, lived experiences, cultural influences, and circumstances that there's no blanket remedy for basically any problem, this one very much included. Meditation works for a lot of people, but maybe not everyone. Abstaining from digital life, the same, could be good, but could be entirely unrealistic for any given person. The list of would-be remedies just goes on like that. So all I can do is provide my perspective, and maybe it will offer some value. But I do this bearing in mind that I have not yet won this battle. Fleeting moments of pleasure aren't real happiness. So it could be helpful to examine and maybe redefine what makes us profoundly and permanently happy. A person could seek those things and perhaps find joy in just the journey of discovering or accomplishing them. Consuming media is super easy, and change is really difficult. Changing this stuff specifically in this world is monumentally difficult. Again, I'm not even close to having...
Is this him? Or like his girl or something? It's just like, hey babe, can you just pet the cat real quick? I need it for the ending of this video. This is great.
Done it. I ultimately think that during this type of change, every day will be a struggle. And you will fail. But every single day, you can get up and try again.
Oh my God. That was amazing. I feel like I should fucking give a standing ovation. I'm glad I waited to watch these videos until I got on stream and have it recorded, because that was really, really good stuff. I can't wait to watch more of these videos. Shout out to horses. This channel exists to help people and myself become interested in things happening offline. Subjects covered include nature, culture, history, politics, food, other things. Well, brother, huzzah to that. I need to wrap up and go to class. There's a lot of things that I kind of wanted to pause and talk about in that, because that was a really great video, and I think it's really important. And when he was talking about the path forward and things like that, and how there is no one-size-fits-all method, it reminded me of a corny but great quote by Miyamoto Musashi, the author of the Book of Five Rings. And one second. The author of the Book of Five Rings. He's basically like a old philosophical samurai legend. Like, think of maybe like, I don't know who to compare him to. But the Book of Five Rings, it's a great thing. But he's quoted with saying, if you know the way broadly, and the way is just like, it's a lot more found in Eastern philosophies and stuff like that. But, everyone has their own way, quote unquote, and only you know your way. So how you fit into the broad picture of things as an individual. Because the more you understand where you fit, the more you can start to leverage where you fit, whatever. But Miyamoto Musashi says, if you know the way broadly, you will see it in everything. And so with that, with that, boys and girls, I have to go to class, but I'm excited. I'm excited. I can't wait to keep coming back. I can't wait to keep making videos. There's so many things to talk about and to be excited about, even though we live in a time where everyone wants to not be excited about everything all the time. There was a lot of things he talked about in that video where there's a lot of division in the world right now, a lot of anger, a lot of hatred, and I think a lot of it is profoundly misplaced. And I think that as long as individuals keep generalizing groups and quote unquote othering other groups and making them feel, everyone needs a boogeyman, right? And I think as long as we stop chasing boogeymen and start focusing on ourselves, the world can slowly become a better place over time. I also did just notice that I think my Mitch Wayne's World logo that I put on here is not the one that I wanted it to be. So that's frustrating. I'm going to fix that. But, yeah. Welcome to Mitch Wayne's World. We'll see you again soon.